Hi, good morning. This is Pranav
Very good morning
from Edu TV. Today, we have a star-studded morning and we have got all the principals and directors from India and Nepal. First of all, I would like to introduce our principal of a foreign school called Raju Peter from Modern Indian School, Kathmandu. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Pranav.
Yeah. Then, Dr. Rajesh Hasija, who's taking care of three Indraprasth schools in NCR. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Pranav, and thank you for taking me online.
Thanks to you, sir. Then I would
hi to everybody.
Oh wow!
Hi.
Then I would like to introduce Dr. Rajesh Hasija's neighbor, Miss Archana Narain from the Indian High School, Dwarka. Welcome.
Hello, hello, everybody. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Hi, Archana. Good to see you smiling.
Same here, sir.
Now,
rare occasion.
We have a very important guest from Pilani, Captain Alokesh Singh from Birla Public School, Pilani. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, and good to see few of our old friends also. Colonel Raju, Peter, hi.
Yeah. Hello, Captain.
Then I would like to welcome Mr. Harendra Chakhaiyar from Cambridge School, Ghaziabad. Welcome, sir. Harendra sir, we can't hear you. Welcome, Dr. Shabana from Little Angel School, Gwalior. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for...
Ma'am, your voice is very low. And we have got two moderators with us today. I'll introduce Dr. Supriyo Ghosh. I think he's the ideal person for this topic. Dr. Ghosh brings a strong blend of corporate experience and academics excellence. He has a doctorate degree from IIMS Calcutta, BE from Jadavpur. He has experience of 23 years, including 14 years in top IT companies and 9 years in higher education institutes. Welcome, Dr. Supriyo Ghosh.
Thank you. Good morning, and hi to all the panelists.
Okay.
Hi, morning, Dr. Ghosh.
Morning.
Mr. Harendra, can we check your voice?
Yeah, I think I'm speaking right
That
now.
That is better.
Audible. It's
better. And now we have Dr. Host and moderator is Dr. Randhir Mishra from IFI in Bangalore. Welcome, sir. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you. Good morning. Happy to be here. Good morning to all the panelists.
Very good morning, sir.
I'm very happy to see the principals. It's a matter of principles, I think, today, PALS. So I would request Dr. Supriyo to moderate the session.
Sure.
So now over to Dr. Supriyo Ghosh. Sir, start with Dr. Shabana. She has got a meeting to attend after this.
Okay, sure. So I will request each panelist to restrict themselves to about 1.5 minutes, that is 90 seconds, and to particularly address the issue of how AI can be introduced in schools and look at the various aspects of that, such as things like syllabus, curriculum, the pedagogy, from where teachers will come. So these are, I think, all burning issues. I'm slightly aware of this because my son is also studying in DPS class 8, and recently there was a discussion regarding AI. So I have a personal stake in this particular topic. So we'd like to be enlightened by the views of all of you, such eminent educationists. And in the interest of time, so I'll request everyone to please limit to 90 seconds. Starting with Dr. Shabana.
Artificial intelligence has been introduced by CBSE in the curriculum of all the CBSE schools. And I must appreciate the efforts of CBSE for making this as a 6th optional subject from this session. As we are dealing with the education 4.0, industry 4.0, so it becomes a need of the hour. And it deals with basically it is dealing with the skill-based education rather than knowledge-based intensive education. And we are also focusing on inculcating education to the students, which is based on 21st century skills. That is comprehension, creativity, critical thinking, reasoning, and data analysis. So it has become very necessary now to incorporate AI in the curriculum. And today, I think all the teachers need proper training regarding this. Although CBSE has introduced in the curriculum, but we need our teachers to be quite versed with it, because when we are teaching in the class, the children should be our labs are already well equipped, and our teachers also need to be well trained. We need day-to-day trainings to be given by the expertise. Experts should visit the schools and give them the training. And theoretical knowledge is not enough. Whenever the workshops are conducted, whenever the trainings are conducted, that is only theoretical. They need practical knowledge of it, actually, because this is something which we know that when inventions are there and when new changes happen, so threats are always there. So when in schools we are starting with this thing, so we have to be very particular regarding this.
Okay,
and artificial intelligence
in the interest
has,
of time, the time is running out, so
okay.
I think you got your
Can
point.
I end up, sir?
Yeah, conclude.
I know. I just want to conclude that it's going to have a lasting impact on the entire society. And if India is going to harness the power of AI, definitely it's going to see the growth in the future coming years. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shabana. Thanks for your time.
Shabana. Thank you. So now, may I request Dr. Rajesh to speak on this?
The artificial intelligence or machine intelligence, when we say, it is simulation of human intelligence through processes. And what it processes the data. Now, a man may make mistakes while processing the data, whereas the machine will never make a mistake. In education system, this simulation of the human intelligence is very, very important. As a teacher in the class, when I have 40 children, I'm unable to look into all those who are high achiever, those who are average, those who are underachiever, because every child has its own pace of learning, his own style of learning, his own concept of learning, and his own rate of learning. One single teacher cannot do justice to handling 40 children in a class. AI is one such tool. Whether 6 subjects, 7 subjects, I am not concerned about that. I only say let us integrate this process of simulating the artificial intelligence, so as a teacher I'm able to do just in the classroom when I'm teaching physics, chemistry and mathematics. If I have time, I can just take one more, that this integration in the pedagogy would give me a feedback on a regular interval. How many children have picked up the concept? How many children still lack in the skill? How many of children still lack the value inculcation? And what my innovation in the process of teaching should be there, so that there is a better learning and better monitoring. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh. That was really quite interesting to learn that you were thinking of AI as a tool. So now I'll request Colonel Raju to please speak on this. Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, good morning from Kathmandu to all the panelists and EduTV. First of all, I would like to compliment the CBSE for introducing artificial intelligence. We are very happy that the CBSE is moving with time. So I'm not going into what is artificial intelligence, because I'm not an expert in that. I will look at it as a principal who has been asked to introduce artificial intelligence as part of the curriculum. We have got 2 issues. One, skilling the students in artificial intelligence as part of 17 subjects that CBSE introduced this year onwards. Artificial intelligence is one of the subjects. So it's a challenge for us, because first of all, we have to equip our teachers. Number one. Number two, since it's an optional subject, we have to motivate the students and parents to take up this as an additional subject. So they are introducing this year in class 8 and 9, and I don't think it's a very big challenge. Second point about artificial intelligence in education per se. So like the speaker just before me said, a very important aspect because the artificial intelligence can be very usefully integrated for making our educational process more effective. So to that extent, we are very happy that if the children get used to artificial intelligence and the teachers get used to artificial intelligence, and slowly we will be able to make use of the artificial intelligence to make our teaching learning process better. But I have a caution out here, because when we are talking about artificial intelligence, we also need to talk about the ethics of artificial intelligence. It's going to be a challenge. That the children should not be made to feel that the human aspect, the teacher's role as a human being in the teaching learning process, that should not be undermined. For me, the machine can help us. The machine should not take over. That may not be good for the society. Thank you very much for keeping me in this panel. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Raju. I think you brought up a very important question, which actually had been playing on my minds also, namely the issue of ethics. Because as we know that technology is making us more powerful, but wrong application of the technology can be sometimes disastrous. As we have seen in the case of, for example, Cambridge Analytica, which is now a major issue in the US. So, and there could be several other cases where there could be things like violations of privacy and so many other issues which can come up because of the unlimited use of artificial intelligence. So maybe in schools we should think about that. So that's a very important point that you mentioned. Thank you, Colonel. So next I will request Mr. Alokesh Sen, sir, if you could please enlighten us with your views. Mr. Alokesh Sen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ghosh. And primarily, there are few objectives of introducing this artificial intelligence at the school level. The world is moving very fast. So far as the technology is concerned, the first objective, and artificial intelligence is taking over. Again, I don't want to get into details of artificial intelligence because that is not the objective of this discussion. Now, that is one of the objectives, is to put our students, our children in date, so that they will not be, suddenly the things will not be new to them. The second thing is for these children to connect to the present problems of the global problems which they are going to face through this artificial intelligence. You know, there are 17 sustainable goals which are there, millennium goals which are there, development goals which are there. And CBSE at this particular stage, it is at a very rudimentary stage. They have taken out of these 17 goals, they have taken actually for problem solving, for the health, for education, for security, for transport, and the other aspects of the artificial intelligence, that is your entertainment services and also the dream home. These are the few objectives which CPC has taken over. This very rudimentary stage. The primary objective is to sensitize the present generation of the 21st century learner about the problems of the problem there, which has already started, which has already commenced in the 21st century. And they are the one who are going to face these problems, and how to solve these problems through this artificial intelligence. Basically, this is an exposure to them so that they start thinking very differently. It is very, finally, whatever we are learning, it should actually end up in solving the problems of the society and the problems of the world. So artificial intelligence is one of the tools or the methods which the problems can be solved, especially the millennium goals, which are the sustainable development goals, which are there. That is one of the objectives. And I think this is a very good step on the part of CBSE. Yes, there are some teething problems which are going to occur. And I think we as an educator, we must, cooperate with this particular concept of CBSE or the government to make it a successful one. And there are problems of the teachers, because our teachers are not trained. I mean, it is not only the students, it's actually the educator. It is actually being taught at present. I mean, we have just started with the few computer teachers. In fact, all the teachers, all the teaching faculty of a school are to be sensitized. If this mission of the CBSE or the government is to be successful, then all the teachers are also to be trained. I'm sure that the CBSE and the government will initiate steps for this particular aspect, that is training all the teachers. Because when these computers came into education, we also face the same kind of problem. I think we are quite well off now. I'm sure that we'll be overcoming all these problems in the similar fashion, and within a span of 2 to 3 years, we'll be able to resolve this.
So I think your point was very valid, that it's a very interesting point that AI should be used to solve problems. So AI is basically for solving different problems. So the problems of 21st century, those should also, as mentioned by the United Nations, so those should also be solved by AI, and that can be started at the school level. So thank you.
I would like to add one thing. Dr. Rajesh Hasija was the first person to set up a computer lab in Delhi school. Am I right, Dr. Hasija?
5 with HCL 8088 machine I had set up. Somebody said about ethics and all. I say if you take a paracetamol and you go through the details of paracetamol, it tells you dozens of side effects of that medicine. Sure. But to cure that, you have to carry on. Ethics are very, very important, but then you have to frame out. If allowed, just 10 more seconds. Let me tell you, the day the goals of artificial intelligence will misalign with my goal, then devastation would happen. If artificial is under my control to achieve the goal which are for the human development, it's very good. The day these goals misaligned, artificial intelligence, it's a machine. Machine, once it is empowered, we have seen some of the science fiction, it empowers and it can go beyond my goals, then probably devastation could happen.
Right.
Thank you, very truly said, Dr. Rajesh, and congratulations on your pioneering effort to introduce AI and computers at such an early
Thank you, sir. We all are working very hard. We all principles are there in that.
Sure, really appreciate it. So we will come back to the educationists in a while. But now I'd like to hear from my good friend and colleague, Dr. Randhir Mishra, on the applications of artificial intelligence, particularly from the industry perspective, because he comes from a distinguished industry background. So over to you.
Thanks, Supriyo. It is very interesting to hear the pointers here. It is, we have covered some very, very critical aspects here. What I thought is, something that I'm sure the education leaders have been thinking on the lines, that it is important to break the idea of the artificial intelligence into schools at 3 levels. Now, one is actually the use of artificial intelligence in the education as an enabling tool, which Dr. Rajesh very nicely captured on that particular part, right? The second part is essentially about introducing the curriculum in the schools and what is the readiness of the schools to actually do some of these part of the process. And, the Dr. Shabana's point was very relevant, that the faculty need to be brought in. But one of the things that we have seen in the industry, in particular in terms of adoption of artificial intelligence, is that it's a top-down approach that works for introduction of this particular technology. Unlike some of the earlier technology which needed the lower level of people to start using, and that would basically democratize the technology, artificial intelligence is a top-down part. So I'm so glad that we have this eminent panel here talking about this and are talking very positively about that particular piece. I also wanted to bring in Dr. Supriyo, our effort in terms of bringing some of the newer facilitating skills using technology into higher education curriculum, where we have worked with some of the eminent universities and colleges, including BITS Pilani, to help the faculty learn digital facilitating skills, which is a critical part. And last but not the least, it is basically what Dr. Rajesh was also mentioning in terms of the creation of infrastructure. Now, one of the great things about artificial intelligence is that the enabling infrastructure is not as expensive as it used to be for some of the other technology. So, you have a very, means digital is actually about democratization of access. And that is something that I hope that the leaders acknowledge, and they are able to see the introduction of AI infrastructure into their infrastructure as a small startup or a small steps, rather than trying to see, hey, I don't have those $1 million budget and therefore I can't do this sort of a thing. So for instance, I run artificial intelligence workshops, which is not even 10,000 rupees in terms of having few of the Arduino, project kits, and it is giving exceptional results. So these are the 3 points that I just wanted to add to the August group and the thoughts that have been shared here. Thanks a lot, Supriyo.
Yeah, thanks, Randir. I think it is quite heartening to hear from you about the falling cost of technology, and particularly, as they could be used in schools, because cost is always a concern, and if the access can be democratized, as you mentioned, particularly through the use of GPUs and other, open source and other kind of technologies, then of course that would be a great enabling factor to implement AI in the curriculum. Okay, so now I think we'll go to Ms. Archana.
Narain.
Archana Narain. So, Madam, could you please share your views with us?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Supriyo, and thank you, EduTV, for this kind of panel discussion. And as far as I'm concerned, my views on artificial intelligence are going to be a little different. I was listening to the eminent panelist, and I'm wondering that why are we fearing it? Why are we so worried about it? Because I feel that it is already there in our lives in so many different forms. The very fact that we all are together in this kind of a platform, sitting and discussing online, it is nothing but a part of artificial intelligence. So, and I'm thankful to CBSE that CBSE has thought about it, and it is introducing, fine, it is introducing the way it introduced computers long time back. And what Dr. Randir said, that it is the high level of technology. So children are quite used to it. Teachers are quite used to it. Through the best example is their Android and the Apple phones. They're already using it. So it is nothing going to be very difficult for them if a proper training is given to them, that this is how they have to take it forward. We have to just streamline everything. Otherwise, it is there. Only thing is, it is going to make the work of the teachers little easier through maybe the video conferencing, through the lessons, the grading systems which are there, ERPs we are using already in the schools. It has already made things so very simpler. So maybe it is going to be a step further, wherein we are just going to be introducing the curriculum can be digitalized. The e-books are already there. So all that, all in all, is going to make education much more easier for the students. And like what Dr. Hasija said, that there are different levels in the classes, in the classroom. The teachers would find it easier that how they have to take care of every level of the child. So be it their mental level, be it their own level, that how they have to go about grading them, how they have to do the checking, how they have to plan the lessons for them. It is going to be a great revolution if we use it in the right direction. And I think we all are already doing it in our own manner. So this is what is artificial intelligence to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Archana Madam. I think it's a good insight that so we are talking of different applications of artificial intelligence. One could be in the curriculum for the kids, and another could be as a tool for the teachers and administrators. So we're talking of a multi-stack layer of technologies, starting from e-books and e-learning kind of things, then going on to ERP to record things like marks and attendance and so on, and then building another layer of technology on top of that, which is the artificial intelligence, which can probably interact with the students and understand their issues and guide the course and curriculum in a more personalized manner. So that could be a very interesting direction that it can take. Okay, so now I request Mr. Harendra Chakhaiyar to please share your thoughts with us. Mr. Harendra.
Right. It's nice to meet such a distinguished panel in the morning today. It's a nice way to start my day too. Most of the things have already been covered by other distinguished panelists. I would like to add two major aspects to artificial intelligence and its introduction. Essentially, it's going to bring in a lot of fresh air into our existing education system. And what artificial intelligence tells us in a way is that we have to look at the way we teach other subjects like math, science, social studies, etc., etc. We need to look at the way we teach these subjects, because artificial intelligence is actually giving us an indication that you have to seriously consider that, are the methods by way of which we are teaching other subjects actually progressive enough, or are they doing any good to our children? Because the way technology has kind of taken over our lives, I think this is an important aspect. The other thing is a bit futuristic I have in mind, is essentially technology is a tool that helps you solve problems more efficiently and in more fast and a quicker way. But somewhere we should not lose the focus that the purpose of technology is to actually help us solve problems. And somewhere I have a fear that we'll lose the focus of what the actual problems are in the country. And are the children equipped enough to sort these problems, or they essentially aware enough to sort the problems? For example, India has essentially been a land of great resources, natural resources, which somehow seem to be depleting pretty rapidly because of technological development and our bent towards technology. So will technology be able to integrate itself to save our environmental damage that we are going through? Because that's going to be a major concern later on in life. So I just hope that this curriculum can actually help us understand and recognize problems which exist and find a solution to that. I'm pretty much hopeful for that, and I'm pretty much positive about it. I think it's a great initiative that has been taken by the CBSE. There will be teething problems, but then, we are principals and that's what we do. We sort the teething problems out. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. It was
True. And I must say that you do a very good job at solving the teething problems which happen.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank Colonel Raju Peters from Modern Indian School, Kathmandu, Ms. Archana Narain from Indian High School, Dwarka, New Delhi, Dr. Supriyo Ghosh, our moderator. Thank you so much. Captain Alokesh, all the way from Pilani, Mr. Randhir. I think Mr. Randhir, we really had very good insight from industry to the school. I think we need corporates coming to the schools now. And then we have Dr. Hasija. Thank you so much. Ma'am, Dr. Shabana to the left. Mr. Harendra Chakhaiyar, I met him also in school. I really enjoyed, and I firmly believe this discussion will help all the stakeholders of education in our country. Thank you so much, all of you. This is Pranav Goa Thakurta and Tanya Sindhi from EduTV Studio, New Delhi. We'd like to see you again. Thank you, sir.